22. It says, "And to the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write these things, says the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. Because you say, I am rich, and have become wealthy, and have need of nothing, and do not know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. I counsel you to buy from me gold refined in the fire, that you may be rich, and white garments, that you may be clothed, that the shame of your nakedness may not be revealed, and anoint your eyes with the eye salve, that you may see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Therefore be zealous and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him, and dine with him, and he with me. To him who overcomes, I will grant to sit with me on my throne, as I also overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches." The title of my message today is Affection Above Perfection. I'm going to tell a story. So we're going to imagine today. We're going to imagine that one day a young girl is dreaming about the day she will meet her Prince Charming. She dreams of the day that she's going to meet him. She wonders, what he's going to look like, what kind of house they're going to have, what their children are going to look like. She's just anticipating, just waiting for the day, longing for the day that somebody is going to want her. And just her, so she's dreaming of that day. Finally, one day she does meet Prince Charming, and oh man, they fall head over heels. They just adore one another. It's like he just tells her how wonderful she is, tells her how beautiful she is. Like they're just can't get enough of each other. Just like they enjoy each other. They spend every moment they can talking to each other and getting to know each other. And they decide, it's like this is awesome. Like we're just like totally. We see you're just like me. I think like you think like me. See ignorant. But it's like you're just so wonderful, and I think you're so wonderful. So let's just go ahead and get married. So they get married, and it was a wonderful wedding, and they had an even better honeymoon. And after they get married, they move into their own house, and oh man, they go to work, and they just can't wait to get home to see each other. It's like, oh man, they're just rushing to get home. They drive. Speeding through red lights. Maybe they're not that Christian, I don't know. Anyway, they're speeding through red lights, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to see she can't wait to see her husband. It's like, and when they get together, they go on long walks on the beach. They're just enjoying one another. They stay up all night talking. They cook together. They're just like, sometimes they just like to just sit next to each other, not saying anything at all. They just love being near each other, and they're just infatuated. So every day they rush home from work. As soon as they finish work, they come back and so one day the wife comes home a little bit late, and she walks in the door, and she was surprised because she saw her husband sitting on the bed with somebody else, and they were like totally making out, and it's just like, what? It's like so weird, and he's like looking at her like, what's wrong? It's like, it's all cool, right? Like he's not even upset in any way, just totally calm as day, and he starts, explaining to her. He says, I was thinking that it would be a good idea for us to add more people into our relationship. Like I was thinking, not just this one woman, but maybe a few other women too. It's like I really think that would be good for us. It's like, I thought we could just live together. Just be one big happy family. it's like, and I was thinking, and at that point, at the end of this story, I usually I was looking at the youth when I said this. I said, and what would your response be? Because I know my response would be, hell no. I was like, oh, I don't know what you're thinking, but like, you must have lost your mind. It's like, so, but if I was the perfect woman, which I am not, but if I was the perfect woman, I would tell him something like this. I would say, I love you. I'll never stop loving you. I'm so infatuated with you, and I can't help it. And although I can never be a part of this affair, I can't live here while you decide to have this affair. I'll be waiting for you, and I'll forever wait for you. If you ever decide that you want just me, call me. I'll come back, as long as it's just me. And this perfect woman of a wife gets into her car, drives away, hurting that she loves someone so much, and they don't love her that way. He doesn't love her the same way. See, she was giving all of herself to him, but he didn't want to give all of himself to her. And so she waits and waits, hoping, praying that he'll call her and say, you know what, it's you I want, and it's only you I want. We are the bride of Christ. And he's so infatuated with us. He's head over heels over us. He came and he would give everything he had for us because he loves us that much. He came and he died for us. Oh, he gave it all. He adores us. He actually is the one who formed us. You know, fearfully, wonderfully made, so carefully put together. Oh, there's not a single mistake about you. When he looks at you, he says, wonderful. In fact, man was the first one when he created man, he says, this is very good. He didn't say it was just good, he said, very good. He loves us, he adores us. And when he looks upon us, it's just like we are like, kind of like how when we look at a newborn baby, oh, so cute, oh, so cute. It was like, I just love you, you're just part of me. I see my eyes, I see my ears, I see my nose. I don't know if people don't like their nose, maybe they wouldn't like that, but you know, but he just adores us in that same way. He loves us, even when we've been wounded, even when we've been hurt. That doesn't change the fact that he loves us. And if we would allow him, he would love to just go and just have fun with us. You know, the same way that the bride and the groom would just, you know, go and they dance together, they laugh together. I remember, you know, the times, and I've shared this before, that, you know, I'd be in my room and I'd be in prayer. And I would come and I start praying for everybody, and I, you know, it was just gotten to the point, it's like, yeah, I know this is how I pray, you know, this is what I do, you know, and I started praying for everybody, started praying in the Spirit, and, you know, that was awesome. But God finally told me, he said, Abby, stop working. And so I went back to praying, and I was like thinking, I'm not working, I'm praying, you know, and he says, you're still working. And I'm like, what? You know, isn't that what you want? You know, and he says, no. He said, I'd much rather you just be with me. Just sit with me, talk with me, hang out with me, tell me a joke, you know, laugh with me, you know, talk story, tell me about what your kids are doing and what your husband is doing, and, you know, like, just enjoy me. Like, would you just let me, like, just sit quietly and let me love on you? And just let me feel my Spirit on you, like, just feel, and then it's like, and you pour out your love upon me, it's like, and you just, without even words spoken. I don't know if you've ever had this, where you've touched the person that you love, you touch the hand, and you can literally feel something going out from you to them. It's just like, it's just a connection, and you can feel what, you know, their love coming into you. But God, he wants us to just do that. And then there would be times he would say, okay, like, I'd be praying with him and we'd be talking stories. He'd say, get up. He says, dance with me. And I'm like, dance with you? My room, there's just like this itty bitty corner of a space. There was like, it was all bed at that time. And we had the smallest room of the house because the kids are more than that of them than there was of Elton and I. So we took the smallest room. So we got a dresser and bed and this little itty bitty space. And he's like, dance with me. And so I could feel his hand around my waist, and my hand goes into his hand, and it's just like as if music started. It's like we just started dancing, banging into the wall, banging into the bed, banging into the door, boom, 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 fall on the bed, just cracking up laughing. Like we just, it was just random stuff. I never knew what he was gonna do. It's just like, it was always exciting to spend time with God. Sometimes it was just jumping up and down like, woo! It was like, this is awesome! It was like, because it's just amazing when his presence comes all over you, and it's just like, this is fun. I've never experienced anything more thrilling than when I'm in the presence of God. We go after these things that we think that we need, and yet it really has no comparison to being with him. We just don't know it yet. Those who have been with him, they know it, but it's like those who haven't really been with him and just laid it all out. It says, pursue peace with all men and holiness, without which no man will see God. God's going to ask you to let go of some stuff. And when you let go of some stuff, you have a better ability to be able to see more clearly who he is. It's like, so there might be a process. You may not just, it wasn't like that overnight for me, but there's a lot of emptying out for him to be able to fill. So he wants us to just, if he could, and if this is really the picture. I think he would love us to know that this is what he wants, to be with us, not for you to be serving him like he's on the couch, like the husband on the couch with the remote. Can you get me water? Can you get me food? Can you make my plate? The kids are screaming. The house isn't clean yet, and that's the way we see God. You haven't dealt with that pride yet, have you? You have not dealt with that stuff. No, that is attitude. That is attitude. and we see him like that. Like he's always like wanting something from us, but not willing to give. He's not willing to get up and actually help clean the house. That's the way we see him. We see him like the slave driver husband. But he's not. He's the loving, compassionate, I'm infatuated with you. I would do anything, for you.